Welcome back, guys. Japan May here once again, and today we are taking a look at the next Voyager. This is Tenbin Voyager, obviously Tenbin Gold's Voyager, and this is a really interesting one. I'm most excited, I've said this going in, I was most excited for Tenbin Golds and for Hibitsukai Silvers because I like that they're humanoid. I think that's really neat. Now, do they translate super well? We'll find out. Obviously we're going to take a look at Tenbin Gold in this one, see if he works as arms and legs and a Zord, and then in the next video we'll take a look at Hibitsukai Silver, see if he works as both arms, legs, and a Zord. But you can see right here, we got the Zord right there, we got our Ranger right there. Same thing up top. I wish they actually, whenever they make a gold and silver Zord, I wish they were actually done in gold and silver instead of a darker yellow and a darker gray, but I can live with it. You can see here the kind of little setup that they got going on, the attachments for both arm and leg configurations, and once again we have balance here on the side. So pretty cool. Let's get this off to the side and bring in the Zord itself. Now before we even look at the Zord, let's bring in Kyuranger. Just like so you guys can get a little bit of a size idea. As a matter of fact, I should go grab a 5-inch figure. But anyways, here's your size comparison with Kyuranger. He comes up to about the base Kyutama right here on Kyuranger. If we readjust the camera, here he is with a 5-inch figure from Power Rangers. Again, if you guys don't own any 5-inch figures, at least you've probably seen them on store shelves. And here he is with X-Aid, and he fell forward. We'll get into that with his articulation, but his feet click on really weird angles that have him always slightly forward or slightly backwards. I guess you can balance him like with his arms, like right there. He's a lot more balanced, but he looks kind of silly. We'll again kind of get into that. But there's your size comparison. And before we continue on, once again, let's take a look at the Kyutama. You very simply just grab him by the head and flip his whole body section back, and you can remove this guy right here. And if we take a closer look at it, you can see right there the scales are actually fully formed right now. Let me rotate that. There we go. Now you can see kind of the little pieces everywhere. And then again, you rotate it. And boom, you got your full scale imagery. I can't get the light to catch that sticker well. There we go. 04, Tenbin Gold. Looks pretty good. Obviously, we're going to have the image inside, which we'll take a look at a little bit later. So let's grab the Seiza Blaster and see what sound effects we get. So here's the Seiza Blaster. Let me see. It is, in fact, on. And now we'll pop this in. So again, you get this yellow light back here because it's Tenbin, and yellow works for both Gold and the Yellow Ranger. So not a bad sound effect, but an interesting one. It's kind of like 2 footsteps and then like some banging, probably like banging the scales together. It's not bad overall. So all pretty standard there. There's the Zord control, or Megazord control. You can see it sounds exactly the same, but what will sound different is the control here. So there you go. Pretty cool. I definitely like that. So now we'll cut back to the Kyutama, and this is what the box kind of has as the default mode. You can actually see it right there. You can see that's kind of, again, like the default mode, and then you add the Kyutama, and it will like kind of form around it. This is kind of going to be the base mode to get into your arm and leg modes as well. But to get it basically transformed, obviously, you clip this on. You come underneath here, and you can see this black piece. What you want to do, let me adjust my camera. What you want to do is actually rotate the head down first. Then you want to grab this black piece and pull it out. The whole thing will rotate around, and you can kind of see how right here we have this little curved section and nothing over there because that's supposed to line up with the Kyutama. It will go around the Kyutama, but it doesn't click in or anything. I don't know if you guys like can tell. Like, you hear a sound, that's just plastic hitting plastic. There's no solid click, there's nothing in the head, there's nothing in the whole body section. It's just relying on the friction of these black grips, as well as, again, a very loose connection. You can see he has this little divot here where his chin is, which will rest in front of the Kyutama. But, like, if you shake hard enough, actually, that, not even hard enough, that required 0 effort. It will come undone. Like, he's not going to just flop over if you're messing with him, but if you give him any solid amount of force, he will just completely flop open, and that's going to be the same for Hibitsky Silver. And it's a shame because, I mean, there's a clip right here. There's little tabs right here because this is meant to plug in to the Zord the same way Shishi Voyager's, or rather, excuse me, Shishi Red's Kyutama plugs in. So it's a little bit of a disappointment that there's no plugs or clips or anywhere in here just to make him a little more solid. But again, I don't find that he just falls apart randomly. Again, a little too much force, he will open up, but other than that, he's fine. Then you just take the legs and you just rotate them out. Just like so, kind of bring the arms down, and there we have Tenbin Gold. Now, what's interesting about him, as well as Hibitsky Silver, as well as the Megazord, actually, they're all asymmetrical in their paintwork, because you can see we have this, like, little shoulder detailing here that's done up in red, and then we have it on this side. It's molded in, but it's just not painted, and then, again, white strip, and the details here, but it's not painted. You got a little white over here, nothing over here. I'm just curious what this is all about. Again, white strip, white leg. And I didn't mention this, I wanted to, but I actually forgot. In my Kyuranger video, again, if you look at his waist, you can see that we have red strip, and then gray and a pinkish, and I'm not sure if it's coming off on camera, but this is brown and then this is gray. So I'm curious what the asymmetrical paint job is on these figures. And again, we'll take a look in the next video. In Hibitsky Silver's, his is also like that, and again, I don't know why. I'm curious if there's a reasoning or it's just an aesthetic choice. If I had to guess, I would say it's probably an aesthetic choice for gold and silvers, but there's probably a higher reasoning, in my opinion, for Kyuranger. But anyway, this guy actually has some really nice articulation. It's not perfect, but it is very good, especially compared to literally every other Zord that is super, super brickish. So, nothing in the head because the head is weighed down by this gigantic hinge right here. The arms are actually off in package. You have to plug them on yourself, but they can go out. Nice T-pose out of both arms. Very cool. And then you can get a 360 motion, just like so. And you got these nice little divots you can probably hear as I'm rotating it around. You do have a bicep swivel on him, and you do have a 90-degree arm bend. Actually, I would say that's less than 90 degrees, but it's still a decent-sized arm bend. Again, you use it with the shoulder joint. I have no issues. And then the scales can move in and out. They will not come out of his hands. They are 100% molded in there. You can see on this side, there's no way to open up his hands. There's no way to slide this out. They're stuck in there on a pin. But you can see the scales right here. They do look nice. Coming down to the legs, there's nothing in the waist, as you would probably imagine, because of this whole assembly and all that. It reminds me of the X8 gimmick line figures when you add, you know, the level 3 Gashat onto it and how it gets all, like, gimmicky and has the big wire mechanism in the back. So, anyway, coming over to the legs, we do have some very nice joints. He can do the splits if he wants. He can go all the way up as far as he can before he starts bumping into his crotch piece, and he can go all the way back, just like so. We have a nice little ratchet knee bend, which can go very deep, as you saw when he was all folded up. He can kneel down if you want him to kneel down. And then again, you have the little leg tilt, or rather foot tilts, just like so. And unfortunately, the way this clicks in, like I talked about in the top of the video, it clicks in such a way where it's hard to get him to stand straight. He's you can see right there, he's leaning back, or you do it one more click and he's leaning forward. So you kind of have to keep the legs bent in some fashion, I find, at all times if you want him to be standing. But ultimately, I think he's a lot of fun because, just as himself, because he has such good articulation for one of these Zords. And I don't know, I just find myself picking him up and messing with him the most. But now we have limb modes, and let me just say, calling them limbs is a bit of a stretch. They are mashes of mecha that are going to be slapped onto Kyuranger. I really do not care. Why did I just said Kyuranger? Kyuranger, excuse me. If he could attach to Kyuranger, that'd be a cool bonus. But anyway, yeah, it's not the best at all. Like, it's not like a giant bird slapped on the arm like we'll see with Washi Pinks, but it's not great. So let's get into his leg transformation, because I think this is my least favorite, at least of his modes. But basically, you set him up so he's kneeling. Let me open up my display. It's kind of falling apart on me. fold him back down like we had earlier, click that underneath, fold the head up, and then you can really do whatever you want with the scales. They tell you to kind of just fold them in like this, and I like to angle them together. You can have them hanging off. I believe the instructions actually say to have them hanging off like this, but that creates so much backwards protrusion that I really don't care for it. I just kind of like to fold them in, make it as clean as possible, and that's essentially leg mode. It's not great. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you guys and say like, oh, it's okay. Like, it's not even passable in my opinion. It looks weird, it looks silly, and it's funny because it looks stupid and stubby, but then it actually fits in scale with the other Zords, which I don't think looks stupid and stubby. So let me grab Kyuranger here off camera. Let's pull out Garu and attach Tenbin just like so. Boom. There you have him as a leg. And again, you just kind of mess with this however you want. Like I said, this is what I like to do. Have it just folded up on the back, but the instructions say to have it open like this and create this whole like back area now. So I don't know, we have to see it in the show. Him and Silver are debuting in this week's episode, so there's that. But it's not an amazing leg, and again, it looks really silly and ridiculous in my opinion. And again, I like the aesthetics of these mecha. I think they all look cool individually. I think most of them look good as arms and legs. I don't really care for Tenbin Gold as an arm or a leg. I think he functions as a Zord fantastically, and that's about it. But anyways, from here, let's pull him off and let's attach Garu back, and now let's get into the arm configuration. So first we'll raise up the camera and let's take away Kajiki Yellow. So basically what you want to do for this formation is you want to obviously rotate the Kyutama first, come down here, open up the legs just like so, take the arms and you want to fold them out. There are little divots here in the legs. I don't know how well you guys can see that. There's a little peg right here, and then there's the little hole, and we're focusing on Kyuranger and not what's in the foreground. Thank you, camera. There's a little divot right here. You want the legs to be plugged in. It's not a super solid connection either. It just kind of holds them in place a little bit, but you want, again, that little like screw hole to be resting in that divot, and then again, you just kind of rotate the arms, and that's your arm mode, and it's not great. Let's get this plugged in. Whoops. There we go. It's not great. I'm not sure what this is supposed to be. It's not... I don't know, and you can see his arms just flopped open the second I moved it. Like, you lift it up and it just looks like a massive robot. Whoops, that's off camera. It just looks like a massive robot plugged onto another robot. So I really don't think he works at all in these modes. Like, obviously they had to try, but you're gonna see that the transformation is identical with Hibitsky Silver, but Hibitsky Silver does this one really neat trick and it makes him work 10 times better than Tenbin Gold here. And in fairness, it's based on the constellation, so I don't know what they could have done to Tenbin Gold to make him better, but again, you guys will see a more successful version of this with Hibitsky Silver in the next video, because again, of the two of them, he does at least arm mode a lot better. I will say somehow I still find myself liking him more than some of the other Voyagers, mainly like Washi Pink, which I know we haven't gotten to her yet, but at least Tenbin Gold, I'll give him this. Does he make a mess of an arm and a leg? Yes, but at least he transforms, where we're gonna see later with Washi Pink, it's not just a bird slapped on to the arm socket, so I give him points for that. And again, as an actual Zord himself, I just think he is a lot of fun, and I really do like him for that mode. But anyways, guys, right now you should be seeing an image of the cockpit form, or rather cockpit image, which does look really nice, as all of them do. I'm always amazed by the amount of detail that goes into these. But again, guys, I think that's gonna just about do it for this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. What do you think of Tenbin Gold, either as a character, you can talk about a Zord. What do you think of the Zord as a toy? Do you think the arm or leg modes are successful? Do you think one is more successful than the other? Any and all thoughts, feel free to leave in the comment section down below, guys. As always, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys soon with the Hibitsky Voyager.